And welcome to another episode of the Philly BroCast. I am your host, Ryan.
And I'm Ryan. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? What's going on tonight?
It's good to get the show rolling again. Get your ugly mug back on the screen.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, we have lots to talk about. Obviously, we're going to get into the Phils in a second as they are heading into the All-Star break, or at the All-Star break, as the All-Star game is going to start relatively soon. Eagles are obviously a week away officially from reporting to camp. Flyers are a hot mess, and we're kind of just sitting, waiting around for the Sixers as Summer League has happened, and we're hoping that maybe they add a little bit more to the roster. I don't know. We'll see. Long way to go before the start of the season, but like I said, we're going to start with the Phillies tonight. They are coming off of a 3-game sweep of the Fish, which, let's be honest,
never happens.
The fact that we're so excited about beating the Marlins has got to tell you a lot about how we play them. But nonetheless, we got the sweep. 3-game sweep and heading to the All-Star game right in the wild card race, in the thick of it. We hold tiebreakers over Milwaukee, over San Diego, over the Cardinals. So all that hopefully bodes well later on down the road, should it come to fruition. But they are 6 back from the Braves, 8.5 back from the Mets. They certainly have an opportunity here to chip away and kind of get back into the divisional race and or secure more of a solid wild card spot here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how well the Braves have been playing. I mean, they just literally shot up. I thought no one was going to catch the Mets.
Yeah,
and Braves are right there. So we're just going to have to keep playing our best baseball. I think now, since our previous episodes, we've talked a lot about, is it worry time? When is worry time? I mean, we're at it, past it. Yep. And I'm liking the way this team is playing overall. Seems to be that they're got their fundamentals down for the most part on defense. You'll have Bohm record an error here or there and stuff like that. That's why he hates this place.
Right, but he's been back overall.
He has been overall. I mean, I really think the entire team has really improved. And the bats, I mean, wow, have they woken up? I mean, when they get going, there's no one stopping them. There's no pitcher that can put them down. They are just hot. That thing must look like a basketball to them because they are just crushing it. Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, just quick little funny stat. Bryce Harper has been out for a month now, 3 weeks.
I think a total of 20 games now at this point.
He still leads the team in batting average.
Nice.
Well, I mean, he's second to Nick Maton, but he had like two. Yeah, Maton. He had 6 at bats, so that doesn't really count. But over a certain amount of at-bats, he is leading our team still, which is just very funny to me, but also showed how great he was.
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is, they are smashing the ball. Schwarber is just an unreal pace right now. 29 home runs heading into the break. Second most by a Philly, only to Ryan Howard. And, you have all of this going. The bats are waking up. JT is actually, the last couple of weeks, has really been hitting the ball well, finally. And we're doing this all without Castellanos, who just still hasn't figured it out. Hopefully this nice long break kind of gives him to clear his head, and he gets back into the swing of things, because this is the longest he's gone where just of just poor play in his entire career. So you have to think he's going to figure it out. And when he does, boy, this offense is going to be even more lethal. But honestly, the story over the last month has been the pitching, has been the bullpen. Aaron Nola has been pitching amazing. Wheeler, amazing. We're getting good stuff out of the other starters, and the bullpen ERA has been one of the best in Major League Baseball over the past month. And over the last couple of years, who would have even thought that was a remote possibility?
It's like talking about the Eagles secondary. It's like saying, oh, the Eagles actually have a secondary now and linebackers? What?
Right.
That's like saying the Phillies have a good bullpen. So, no, but I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, you got guys who a lot of people haven't heard of coming in and pitching very, very well.
Yeah.
I am still surprised and happy with the way that Suarez has been pitching all year.
Yeah. Giving you what you need.
Exactly. I mean, he's not going to jump off the page, but honestly, he's doing pretty well. He was dealing I think it was Saturday, we were hanging out. He was absolutely dealing.
Yeah.
So, the combination of the bats just going off and the pitching doing well obviously relates to successful season. So if they can just keep it going, beating the teams they have to beat is key. If they would have lost that series or even, other series that were relative, then I would be a little bit more concerned. But, they're winning the games that they should be winning. They're sweeping the teams that they should sweep.
Right.
Overall, it's looking really great. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you is, like, where is the room for improvement? What type of move, if any? But I mean, what type of position are you looking at to say this is where we need to be the most improved?
I mean, I think it has to be center field. We've been trotting out a bunch of different guys. Some games it works, some games it doesn't. But we need a consistent guy out there. And honestly, I would love like somebody like an Andrew Benintendi from Kansas City. I've always liked him, even when he was in Boston. I think relatively decent contract. I think he'd be great in here. Obviously, everybody's going to want to talk about Juan Soto as, contract negotiations have failed. Apparently 15 years and $440 million weren't enough to have anybody want to stay with that team. So I get it. But, obviously our name is going to be thrown out there. I don't know if, we have enough to kind of, that means Ohapi, that means Painter, that probably means, Stott or Bohm or both maybe, it's going to change this team a little too much. But again, a talent like Soto would be unreal to have, but I think it's very unlikely. Outside of center field, I would love nothing more than, like a low-end starter, like a 3 or a 4, to kind of throw somebody in there. That would be nice. And then, of course, another bullpen arm. Even though they are playing well, I feel like my concern is, using them a little too much, having them wear down as the season goes on. Sir Anthony Dominguez is obviously coming off of, Tommy John, and I don't want to overuse him. So having even just a moderate bullpen arm to kind of even just stretch out the other bullpen arms, I think would be beneficial. So, those are the five things. Those are the 3 things, I would love nothing more for the Phillies to go after. I think they at least go and maybe bolster the bench a little and maybe go get that bullpen arm. I think unless the right deal for a center fielder comes around and unless, the right starting pitcher comes around, I don't think they pull that trigger. And like I said, I think unlikely Soto comes here. I just would want him out west and go to the AL, somewhere where we don't have to see him anymore.
Yeah, I would probably shovel poop for 14 years at $5 million. I would literally do that.
Yeah, I mean that's that's a pretty good upgrade. Um, I would say maybe 7. I'd want at least 500K a year.
Oh yeah. Get
Right,
your poop shoveling agent to
right. I mean, it depends what animal, or is
elephant,
it
of course.
an elephant?
It's an elephant, yeah.
Oh man, I might ask for that 440 then.
But think of the
um,
shape you would get in.
uh, you're right. You were right. I would just have
Yeah,
to invest in heavy cologne.
I mean, I would have to agree with you that a bullpen arm would be just something to kind of make us a little bit more intimidating, I guess, when you're getting somebody who, God forbid, you get somebody who goes 4 innings and is just getting smacked around. You're gonna have to go deep, and you want somebody that can do an inning, maybe in 2 innings, in that fourth, fifth, sixth, whatever it may be, that could obviously, do some damage. So I could agree with that because, you're not throwing these guys out every single game for more than an inning for the most part. So
Right.
I would want like a middle reliever kind of guy because I think, we're doing pretty well closing the ball games out.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, knock on wood, they've been pretty darn good. So, yeah, I just think, right now, I'm good with kind of letting it ride. I mean, they have the Cubs coming up after the break, I think starting Friday. Cubs are not a very good team, so I hope that they would be able to handle them. And then you go right into a very important Braves series. Now, one thing I was kind of looking at the pitching matchups. It looks like Wheeler's going to pitch during the Cubs series, but would you, I guess, adjust the kind of the rotation in order to make sure that Wheeler and Nola are pitching in that Braves series to kind of give you a leg up? Or do you just say, listen, we're playing one game at a time. Whoever is out there is out there. Let's get the W and let's move on to the next.
I would have to say I would go with the latter over the former, just simply because I think that's how they've been rolling. I think that's what they're doing right now. I think that's what, the management staff has them doing is just focus on today. You're going to go out there. How's it going? You're going to go out. You're going to pitch well no matter what. Just go out, play your game, and the team's going to rally around you, whoever it is. So I think you just kind of roll with it. Obviously, if this was in a different situation, maybe later in the year, maybe during the playoff, something like that, then yes, obviously you would make that adjustment. You would do something to have that happen. But at this point, I think it's just kind of roll with it. Whoever's out there is capable enough to do it. And you got to have the team rally behind him, have everybody support that person, whoever it may be that goes out. And if it just so happens that they're in the, top guys in their rotation, then obviously it's going to be a difficult game, but that's what it makes these teams better, is that adversity, the painstaking games like that. So they're going to have to grind it out.
Yeah, it appears that it looks like they are just going to kind of roll with their normal lineup. So
I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I mean, I get it. You obviously want to put your best foot forward, and again, if you can, take 2 out of the 3 games with the Braves, obviously you gain a game and move closer. But yeah, I think it's let's focus on the Cubs. Let's try to get 3 wins for the Cubs, and then let's focus on Atlanta when Atlanta comes up. So
yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you. I think that's probably the best way to go. I'm trying to look to see if I can see who the official matchups are. This thing will let me.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things is going into that series hot. So like you said, the Cubs series I think is just as important, because if you can sweep the Cubs, you're going into this series, which obviously is important, on your best foot and really rolling. So, yeah, I mean, it's exciting though because we're really not that far back from anyone.
No, it's very reachable, which is great. And hopefully they can continue to grind that out. Yeah, it looks like Friday it has Gibson. Saturday against the Cubs, it is Wheeler. And then for whatever reason, on the Sunday game against the Cubs, they don't have anybody officially listed, nor do they have anybody for the first two games in Atlanta. But they have Gibson and Wheeler already set up for the last game in Atlanta and the first of four with Pittsburgh. So you would have to assume Nola would be in there somewhere. I think with the uncertainty with Eflin and Ranger, I think again we could see one of those spot starts coming up in one of those games somewhere. So perhaps we could see Nola in the Atlanta series. And the way Gibson has been pitching, again, that's pretty good. So you'd have two decent pitchers going against Atlanta. But then remember, after Pittsburgh, we have a 4-game at Pittsburgh, and then we have 2 at Atlanta again. But we're playing them 5 times, here early on in the schedule. And then, yeah, it's pretty much divisional after that. It's 4 in Washington, 3 the Fish, 3 in New York. You have a 3-game series at Cincinnati, then New York again. So it's heavy divisional games here, and this is exactly you're giving the opportunity to climb back in. You're playing against the teams in your division. Now, granted, a lot of them are against 2 teams that are below you, so you need to handle those games. And hope that you can gain a little ground on the Mets, gain a little ground on the Braves. So,
yeah, I mean, we're 8.5 back from first, 6 back from the Braves. So, just say fast forward to the Cubs series, we win all 3 games. They've won their last 3 games. It's even, or it's still, we're 6 games behind. If I'm not mistaken, you sweep the Braves, you tie them, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, if they were to lose, if they were to lose these next 3, Atlanta, and then 3 against us, then yeah. I mean, again,
I thought if we played them,
no, we only
3
gained
games.
We only gained 3.
But don't they lose a game?
Well, yeah, they would lose a game, but we would win. We would win 3. They would lose 3. We'd only gain 3.
But they would lose 3, so we'd be tied, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like a 6-game switch.
We're 6 back. We are 6 full games back. We would only gain 3 games on them. They are officially right now 56 and 38. Say, let's take the Cubs series out. Let's take whoever they're playing. If they lose 3, they're 56 and 41. If we were to win, we would be 52 and 46. So we would still be 3 games behind them.
Okay. What am I thinking of?
Yeah, I don't know why you're doubling it. It's weird.
It is weird. I don't know why I was doing that.
That's
why I asked.
What are you doing? But yeah, right now,
I don't know why.
Right now, the Braves are the top wild card, and San Diego has the second one, and then there's the Phillies and the Cardinals. They're tied for that third wild card with San Francisco a half game back. We're only 2 behind the Padres, so again, it's 5 teams essentially all within 6.5 games of each other, vying for 3 spots. So yeah, it's going to be a nice race as the season progresses, and hopefully, the Phils can, maintain. Because again, even if they don't do anything, they'll have Segura, who officially comes off his DL. I think August the 3rd. I don't think he's going to be ready by then. but he is progressing quickly, as I've been told. And then obviously Bryce coming back, probably more like September. But, if we can kind of maintain till we get these guys, that's two big additions there. And even if they do small incremental, trades to improve the team, I think that'll be enough to kind of push them for the playoffs. So,
yeah, absolutely. And they've just been really impressive of late. And it's like every time I turn the game on or have it on somewhere, they just start blowing somebody out. So, and it's usually when either like we're bowling or I'm doing some other activity. It's like the game's on, and I look up. All right, cool. They're up 3-0. I look back, and they're up 6-0. It's like,
it's like, what happened? Yeah,
it's been really impressive. So
that's how this offense works, man. It just in bunches. With Schwarber, getting hot, and if Reis can continue doing his thing, and JT, like I said, has been hitting pretty well over the last couple of weeks. If you kind of have that combined with some of the other guys here and there getting their swing on, and if this bullpen and pitching staff can maintain their level of play, I don't see why they can't just continue to get dubs.
Yeah, I mean, plus you have to remember Castellanos is still leading the team in hits, and he's batting .250, which really isn't terrible. So, I mean,
wait, what? Say that again.
You heard me.
Castellanos is leading the team in hits?
Correct. He has the most hits.
Really?
He has 89 hits, leading the team, and he has a batting average of 252, I think it was. 251? Yeah, 251. It actually isn't too terrible.
Wow, no, I didn't.
Yeah, you were giving him crap for being not too bad.
I was, but again, he has a negative WAR. His on base percentage is under 3. Slugging is 376. He has 8 home runs. At this point last year, I think he had 20 something. He only has 46 RBIs. Again, not terrible. It just, again, it's we need more production, more run production from him, and again, we gave him a big contract, kind of thing. He needs to at least somewhat, earn that. You know what I mean? Oh, what just happened?
I don't know. Just literally kicked me out. It was very easy to get back in, but...
Yeah, well, maybe it thought you were a liar. And was like, there's no way Castellanos leads the team in hits. No way.
Well, you thought I was.
You're right. Maybe I kicked you out.
Did you? Maybe.
I don't know.
My phone feels kind of warm. I don't know.
Well, it is a very hot day.
I'm inside. My air conditioner's like pointing at me.
Well, you're right. I can hear it, but
is it terrible?
No, it's not that bad. I'll use this as a nice break to discuss the things I need to discuss. Might as well start with
that?
Well, might as well start with what we got scrolling on the bottom. Always want to thank everybody for coming in from the Painted Lines YouTube channel. We have partnered up with them. Really nice collab where we stream on their YouTube. They stream on our Facebook. They put out amazing content. They got articles on the website, thepaintedlines.com, and they break everything down from, draft process. I mean, they're already doing work on draft prospects for the NFL next year. They're doing positional groups for the Eagles, and yeah, it's a lot of good content there. So check them out, the Painted Lines. Head out over to their YouTube. You'll find all of the Philly Sports Line shows on there. And then you could also check some of their stuff out on our Facebook. So make sure you follow and like that as well. Next, I will mention La Terrain Watches. Head on over to www.la-terrain.com. Use code PSA for site-wide discounts. They have amazing watches, high-quality watches for a pretty darn good pricing, and you'll look amazing. I have two myself. I wear them all the time. I get compliments all the time. People are always asking me where I can find them, and I'm always throwing out the PSA code. So use that code. Let them know that you heard about them from us, and yeah. So do that. Get yourself a fat watch. And then, of course, I would be remiss in mentioning what my shirt. Oh, you got it on too. Ayo! Six-pack coverage, baby. Sixpackcoverage.com. We have joined up with their network based out of Tennessee. We're bringing all of the Philly shows down there with our brother network, CEV Sports. A little taste of Philly in Tennessee, but they're more of a national media company. But they don't just do sports. It's lifestyle, travel, food, fitness, finance, whatever floats your boat. They pretty much got it. Check out them on their Instagram. Really funny stuff on their Instagram. And then, of course, on Twitter, Six-Pack Coverage. And then the last thing I'll mention, I feel like I have so many things to mention. And this one's a long one, so pay attention and read. I know reading is not fun, but we've also partnered up with Philly Sports Trips. I know you've heard of them. They've done every Eagles away game. They go to Phillies away games. They've gone to the London game a few years back. They've even gone to the Masters. They'll go to pretty much anywhere. It's amazing. So we've partnered up with them, and then we are focusing on the Week 3 game against the Commanders in D.C. It is a bus trip. $325 will get you a sweet round-trip charter bus to and from the stadiums. The parking down at the Philly stadiums first, by the way, for free, are all included. And then an exclusive tailgate, private DJ, former Eagles like Hollis Thomas, gourmet food, all you can drink, all you can eat. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Games and just other amazing fun prizes and stuff. So check them out. Go to phillysportstrips.com. Head on over to their trips. Select the bus trip to D.C. Fill out all your information, and then it'll ask you how you found out about the trip. Just in the comments, throw Philly Sports Alliance. Get on our bus. Get on our private bus. We got special things for all of the Philly Sports Alliance people who come and join us. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your Eagles fans. Hell, if you unfortunately know some Commander fans that are in the area and want to go down and watch us absolutely destroy this team, then bring them along too. We'll laugh at them and make fun of them on the bus trip down too. So, head on over to phillysportstrips.com. Make sure you mention Philly Sports Alliance in the comments, and you'll be all set. We got, honestly, I think we got like almost close to 20 people signed up. We got a bus, I think that fits about 50, so we got some room, but it is filling up quickly. So check it out, and we will see you on the bus. Oh, and also, obviously, the tickets are included. It's lower level. It's right by the Eagles tunnel. They fixed the fencing, so nobody's falling over. Maybe they have, but I don't know. It's shit. It's a shell, but it's going to be so much fun. There's going to be all of us Eagles fans sitting together. I cannot wait. It's going to be an amazing time. So check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for my spiels.
No, it was good. You did well.
Thank you. I try to get them as quickly as I can.
Anyway. You're good. You did well. Good job.
So let's transition over. Speaking of the Birds, let's transition over to the Eagles. Training camp is officially in 1 week. 1 week. I cannot wait. We have been waiting for this ever since we heard that they have foregone the voluntary mini camp last month. So we missed some Eagles stuff there, and finally it's here. We're gonna finally get some pads on and start hitting people. We're gonna preseason game is going to be right around the corner. And then, of course, the first live public practice on August the 7th, which I will be down there. Fineran, I'm sure you will be as well. And before you know it, it's game time. So this is the beginning of the end of the off season. I can't wait.
I know, it's super exciting. Just getting down to that training camp last year and seeing all the guys, just getting that behind the scenes look. You're kind of watching the reporters and Merrill Reis walking around, and it's so cool to see all these guys getting out there and just like having fun. Working out. It's really, really a cool experience. So if you've never been to one, I would highly recommend it. This is exciting, man. I mean, we got some veterans on this team that they're on a bubble. They might not be making this team. So it's pretty good problem to have. Yeah,
no, you're absolutely right. Real quick, I just want to circle back. Org Battle said, I think Schwarber was sandbagging in last night's home run derby. He let Pujols win. There was something fishy going on, obviously, with the miscounting, and it just kind of seems like he slowed up a little bit. And I don't know. I mean, I will never know, obviously, but he ended up not even winning it, so they couldn't even fix the whole thing right. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just, a nod to the old man. Just be like, there you go, sir. You do your thing. It's cool to see Ken Griffey Jr. there. That's
always.
Best swing ever.
Smoothest swing ever. But I'm just glad that creep Pete Alonso didn't win. Did you see all that? Right? Did you see all that weird stuff? He was like meditating and he was like working out and like taking it way too seriously. And then he came out today and like he tweeted something like he apologized to the fan base and he's like, I'll do better. Like I feel
no one cares.
He's like, I feel like since I've lost this, a piece of my soul is gone. Like he's taking it way too far. Like, and I can't tell if he's joking or if he's serious. But either way, what a weirdo! It just makes that so much more.
If he's doing a bit, it's like you got to have some kind of comedy in there.
Well, right, you're taking it too far.
Yeah, it's got to be funny. But
right, yeah, there's got to be some humor. But it's just
this is the joke. I can't wait to see what the punchline is.
Yeah, right. Jeez. Well, either way.
But I mean, unfortunately, I was following along, but I wasn't not really interested. And this goes for the most part for all sports. All-star games are just kind of blasé right now. I mean, and they don't need to do anything to try and make it more fun or try and make it better or do anything like that. I mean, I like a lot of the skills competitions and stuff like that. Like
the NFL should bring back like the official quarterback club and do it up. Like some of the stuff they've been doing, it's like, it's all right. But like, I just want to see quarterbacks doing like, I want old school. Remember like when they would like, they'd have like a little like race and then they'd have the blue on the football. So when you hit the target, the blue paint, splattered. And
I mean, that's all done with computers now. We don't need to do any of that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I liked it. That's what I want to see. But
just
anyway,
a simple kind of man.
Yeah, you're right. But I honestly, I think if you're looking at all four major sports, honestly, I think hockey is probably the more exciting. There obviously isn't like hitting, but like they scrape up against each other. It's high scoring. Plus, the skills competition is always fun. Always fun.
Yeah, that one's really great.
They've always
had the best like skills competition in the All-Star game. But like overall, I mean, it's just kind of whatever. But
anyway, back to the birds.
Back to the birds.
So, you were mentioning, a lot of notable names could be on the roster bubble. I wanted to kind of address because, with the let's just go with the wide receiver. You have somebody like Greg Ward, Jalen Reagor, that, might be pushed out. I mean, you basically have the first four set in Brown, Smith, Watkins, and of course Pascal. You don't know how the rest is going to kind of play out. Is Rager going to be the fifth or the sixth? Is Ward, gonna end up making it? Is one of the younger, kids, one of the speedy return men? Because again, you'd rather have a returner. Um, yeah, I think somebody out of that group that is a known name is definitely going, if not two. Um, yeah, and I think also some notable names on the D and the D line and the linebacking core. Is Davion Taylor, Sean Bradley? They're not guaranteeing anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we're going to see some cuts here that we may not like, but I think overall it just means how good our depth is right now.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of what I was mentioning. It's like it's a good problem to have that you got all these guys and you got to make cuts and decisions and stuff like that. But I mean, we kind of talked about this in the Philly round or in the Eagles roundtable, and it's one of those things where you have to imagine that Jalen Reagor is going to be on the team because it's a cap hit regardless. I think it's a bigger one if you cut him, right?
It's $2.5 million if they cut him. I think that fact alone, and again, Howie does not like to admit when he makes draft mistakes and tends to hold on to them a year later than they should. And I think this is going to be the case with Reagor. He is going to get one final year to show that he is an NFL receiver. And yeah, I think he's on the squad. He's that fifth wide receiver. And, again, it's a lot easier to cut him after next year, especially if he doesn't play well, if he doesn't perform, whatever. So, yeah, I think it's Ward that's going to be the wide receiver cut that I think is going to maybe upset some fans.
Yeah, I mean, just because of what he did in 2020, leading the team in receptions and just kind of being there for that team, it was like a parachute almost. It was pretty impressive, and I mean, we as fans are kind of like Howie. Like nobody wanted to see Fletcher Cox go. Nobody wants to see somebody. He's making decisions. I think because he honestly has that nostalgic feel, or like he gravitates towards these guys because they know how to talk to him and talk to players and talk to coaches, and he's like, all right, he's a good presence in the locker room, and there it is. Like, well, his performance on the field isn't doing anything for us, so that's the judgment call you need to make. But I understand where he's coming from. I get it, but also you're supposed to be that guy that is up here and the fans are down here because we don't know all the ins and outs.
Yeah, case in point, the fact that he gave Fletcher Cox $14 million for a year shows he hasn't learned anything. You're basically paying Fletcher Cox on the wonderful Eagles career he's had with us here. But, think about what he's going to give you this year and in the future if he is on this squad. You could have used that money, roll it over. You could have upgraded, safety a little better. Again, with the Jesse Bates rumors getting a little hotter now, back again. You could have used that to kind of sign him to a more of a long-term deal. What's going on, Steven? When is the Eagles' first game? The Eagles' first game is what? September the 11th versus Dallas. Or not Dallas, Detroit, sorry.
Yeah. At Detroit.
At Detroit, yes.
Second game at home against Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then the third game is that away game that we were talking about with the Commanders.
So, yeah, I think the first official preseason game is at Philly, August 12th at 7:30. Then we go away to the Browns on the 21st, and the 27th to the Dolphins for the final preseason game. And then, like I said, September 11th, 1 o'clock start, Fox at the Lions. And then first home game that Monday night. Took off Monday, took off Tuesday. It's going to be one hell of a tailgate. So if anybody is down there, we will be. We'll have the tailgate rolling and rocking. And I cannot wait.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really great. Especially it being a Monday night game. I mean, primetime football. The Vikings are a pretty solid team, so this is going to be a good game.
Yeah. No, we'll be down there at like 1 o'clock, setting everything up, just going nuts.
I'll be there like 2-ish. I took a half day. Mondays are pretty busy for me, so I had to take a half day.
Yeah, we'll figure out that coordination when it comes to it, but we also got to figure out who's coming with us on that game. So,
yes. Any volunteers out there? No.
I'm sure there will be a lot of them. But yeah, so Eagles, like I said, training camp starts next week. So obviously, by the time we're on air next week, they will have just only reported. So we won't really have anything to go on until the final following week, where we'll have a full week of training camp. Hopefully, we'll get into some good news and updates then with how things are going. And obviously, this is the big time where you want to pay attention to multiple reports of some of the reporters that are down there watching day in and day out, and how Hurts is looking, how Brown and Smith, and how the defense is rolling, and how Dean looks, if he's healthy and flying around. So I can't wait to get into the thick of it with Birds. So yeah, real quick before we do get on out of here, I do want to talk a little Flyers, which is shocking for me. Just because, man, they are.
Who are you?
I know they are a dumpster fire. They royally screwed up. I think they drafted that Cutter kid. I think that's a good pick. But
was it Cal Cutter or something like that?
Yeah, whatever his name is. I'm so like. I feel like I'm so removed from just.
Are you talking about Goodrow?
Yeah, I mean they had an opportunity to get a guy who is amazing offensively, who wanted to come here. Like, it's not often, especially considering the way that the Flyers are. Yeah, Cutter Gaither? No, probably not. Probably Gauthier. Probably something.
If I don't have it up, but if it's Gauthier, it's probably like Gauthier or something like that.
Gauthier, probably. But that kid at least has some upbringings in the area. Reading, I believe he has some family. So great selection. I do like that selection, but failing on getting Johnny Hockey, and kind of that weird trade for the kid from Carolina. I'm not really sure about him either. I just don't like the direction. I think they have a long way to go before they are relevant again.
Oh yeah, I mean it's really a shame because when you had, of course I'm going to blank on his name, the goalie. When you had him coming up,
what Carter Hart?
Yeah, when you had Carter Hart coming up, being as promising as he was early on,
right?
I mean, you're literally wasting a talented goalie and diminishing his value, diminishing his playing time, his longevity, everything. Literally, the guy's taking, I don't know, I think it was like 8% more shots than any other team. Like, he's literally having to take more shots on his body, do more, get exhausted, just because we have poor defense.
Yeah.
And I mean, you get somebody like Gaudreau on the team, he makes a big difference. He sparks something. And that's not just offensively, defense, that's the whole team.
Yeah.
I really think that the whole team would get behind that, play better, just have a better mindset going into games because you have somebody who's that talented. But yeah, the fact that they're not working hard enough to get more defense and to bolster that defense is just baffling.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be a sad franchise for the next couple of years, and who knows? Maybe if they replace Chuck with somebody competent, maybe it won't be so long. But yeah, that's my Flyers rant. Disgusting.
And it's just one of those things. Like, I've heard about the ownership for the Flyers, this Comcast group, and like the people that are running the day to day, and they're known to flip businesses. So
Yeah.
They come in, they improve it, they sell it, make a little profit, boom, move on. I can appreciate that. I like the hustle, appreciate it. But you're not doing it right. Like, you're not improving the product that you're trying to in turn sell.
Right. Yeah, you are losing money, hemorrhaging. Fans are leaving in drones right now because they are so upset.
It's like you get a broom, you break it in half, and then you're like, hey, smaller people can use it. It's like, well, what about everyone else? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You can't resell it as something crappier.
Yeah, well,
so I just don't understand what they're doing. It makes no sense, and yeah, I mean, it's just been frustrating. I'm very happy for Giroux that he got out and that he's still on a team that has a very good chance to win next year. So, I mean, I've heard, like, bring Giroux back, things of that nature, and please let this man just
let him
try and win a championship somewhere else.
Let him drift into the sunset. So.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, that's going to be up for us for tonight. We will see you guys next week, 7 o'clock Tuesday. Don't forget to check out all the other shows on the Philly Sports Alliance Network. Coming up right after this, we have another episode of the Birds of the Round Table with a very special guest. So check that out, and we will see you guys next week. I will see you later on tonight and next week on the Football Smack Talk show. But Ryan, anything to add before we head on out?
I want to know, can you text me who the guest is?
Yeah, I can.
All right, cool. Because I have a phone call after this, so I can't watch. But appreciate you.
All right, everybody. So that's it for us. So for the Philly BroCast, I am your host, Ryan.
And I'm Ryan. Peace out, bros.
Later, bro.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.